Today's video is going to cover the RodeX XDM-100 USB-C streaming microphone built by Rode for gamers and streamers. Question is, can this replace your existing microphone in your setup? We find out. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Today I'd like to cover the Rode XDM-100. It's a new dynamic USB-C microphone from a new division of Rode called RodeX, which they're billing as a platform for gamers and streamers. It's of course a division of Rode itself, world famous manufacturer of audio gear, microphones, sound processing equipment, the Rodecaster, etc. I purchased this microphone a couple of days ago. It's at the time of filming, it's newly released this week. I've had it less than 2 full days now worth of use, and just wanted to give you an idea of my thoughts about it so far. Up to this point, I have been using a Shure MV7 microphone for the most part, with occasional SM7B recordings in as well. The shortcoming for me, what I found in my simple setup here in my home studio, is the Shure microphones I'm routing typically through a Scarlett 2i2 USB interface, and I would always have to fully turn up the gain on the Scarlett to get even an acceptable level on my audio in my recordings without having to boost the audio level up by 6, 12, sometimes as much as 18 decibels in post-processing after recording a video. And of course, you know, anytime you introduce that much gain into a signal after you've recorded it, typically it's going to come with a lot of noise, which you then have to turn around and process all over again. So I decided to give this a shot. It's in approximately the same price range originally as the MV7 and a few other popular, options out there on the market. What I'm enjoying about it so far is, of course, the straight USB-C connection directly, in this case, into my Mac. It's nice and convenient. It seems to work okay, whether it's plugged into a dock or directly into the Mac. However, what I did notice with this is when I plugged it into a dock first and tried to record some sound samples, it would occasionally drop the equivalent of, in video terms, a couple of frames worth of audio or a syllable or two, and it was doing it on a fairly regular basis. And this was straight USB-C into a USB-C/Thunderbolt port on the Mac Studio. Now that I'm going directly into the Mac Studio from the mic, those problems seem to have resolved themselves. The one shortcoming so far that I can see with this is, and help us out here, Rode, on introduction, their Unify software that they're marketing for these new RodeX microphones is only available on Windows, which I understand. Windows is going to be your much larger gaming platform. However, there are millions of us out here in the Mac arena who do a lot of streaming. We also, a lot of us use these same mics in our workplace, whether we're on Zoom calls or Teams calls or other, and kind of want one mic to fit all purposes, so to speak. So a little bit of a shortcoming again on my side, on Rode's part, by not including Mac support on launch, but hopefully within a few months that'll be resolved. Please, for those of us in the Mac audience, we'd appreciate it if you would. So anyway, to get to the point here, what you get in the box with this mic is, of course, the mic itself. It's a hefty mic. It's approximately 700 grams. It comes with a pop shield, which is nice. You don't have to purchase that extra. You, of course, have the microphone. You have a really sturdy shock mount with nice suspension in it. Your USB-C connection is going to be at the bottom base of the microphone. And you also have a volume control and a 3.5 millimeter direct headphone out. So you can actually monitor your output directly if you prefer to. I have tried routing this headphone out externally directly into a camera. Couldn't actually get the audio to process, so kind of gave up on that. But what I'm going to do for you folks that are kind enough to watch, is the audio on this video, unless I have to make any volume adjustments slightly up or down to get it to an acceptable level for YouTube, I'm leaving it entirely unprocessed. I am in a small room that doesn't have any sound treatment, so if you do get some reverb or if it sounds a little bit off, that's why. I'm not in any kind of professional studio or professional environment here. But early thoughts on this: seems to be an extremely solid first outing from RodeX. I understand the market they're going for. I think they might end up hitting a home run with this, as long as they support the two biggest sides in the market and don't completely abandon the Mac OS and Mac user side of the equation. Other than that, it's a great mic. The specs are good. It's a cardioid polar pattern with a dynamic capsule, has a 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz range. Of course, connectivity is via USB-C. The sample rate's 48 kilohertz, and the bit depth is 24 bits. Simple requirements are either a Mac OS or Windows, even though, of course, the software does not currently support Mac OS. And what else you get in the box, besides what I've already pointed out, is two extremely long cables, which great job, Rode, on including cables at a length that those of us can actually use. I have actually run this USB-C cable up to almost its full length of almost 10 feet. It's listed as 9 feet 8 inches, or approximately 3 meters, for both the USB-C to USB-C cable, as well as the headphone output cable, which is terrific. Gives you a lot of flexibility to move around, even walk around to a point, the room where you're gaming, streaming, recording, etc. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. That's about all I have to say on this at this time. I will be following up this video with a few more on this mic, including having it connected directly to the Rodecaster Pro 2 to see what kind of output we get out of that. So thank you again for watching, and hope to see you again soon.